We've done some recent videos on Aikido for self-defense, and maybe some Aikidoka cannot quite see how the techniques are working, and maybe non-Aikidoka don't understand what's going on exactly. But if we take an elementary technique, he takes my shoulder there and he's planning to punch me, etc. So we see this sort of thing, we see that, we see him tap out like that. Now, we need to understand the force that could be applied to this. That is going to be quite sufficient. But in a real situation, you could apply that. You can also apply that type of force. So there are things you can do to add to the force. Now he can get in, I want you to get into an extended Nikkyo from Minuchi. So he's, well, that's not the extended one, he's in the same position. Now, okay, the argument is, I mean, this is on anyway, because I'm doing what an uki should be doing. If I just stand up like that, okay, he can't put the Nikkyo on, but he can simply roll over into the related technique of Rokyo. So now we'll do the extended one. Okay, here. And I'll tell you, resisting this is not really a very good idea. But if the closer I get, basically, the more it hurts. If I try to attack him, he can ratchet this on, but he could hurt me doing so. Now, an aspect of that is Minuchi. So there, we get to here. Okay, so now, let us suppose that he strong arms me or extends. Now, one way around that is simply to go there, and there. So I think what isn't, once more, so we're there, we can go through Ikkyo to Nikkyo, which also helps, because as he comes up, he's below me, and there we are, that's working. But there are other ways of making, obviously, from a self-defense point of view, there are other things you can do. So, you know, we're not short of options. The point is, it's a moving process, and you keep moving until you have to stop, sort of thing. So forward with the punch. Yeah, there comes a point where he simply has to stop. He can't advance, he puts it on himself. And I think this is what isn't understood. That we practice in this sort of nice, friendly way. I'll let him do it to me, so. So that's the first thing. First of all, the technique works, just as it is, basically. Secondly, you can execute it with more spite if you want to. A way of doing this if your hand is grasped, like he takes my hand for the purposes of battering me, the usual thing you might see is you might just see something like that. Once again, there's no great force. Now if I wanted to put force into that, which I won't, but I will go through the motions, I can take it Jodan, and I can cut right down as though with a sword, and that will break his wrist. Another thing I can do is I can take it back under like that. This is also nasty, and I'm doing it at a pace which he can adapt to. Another point with this Nikkyo is that he pushes. I'm doing it at his pace. But if I was so minded, I could bang it on. So when you're watching Aikido and you're criticising, say, the techniques, you need to understand that there are a whole load more possibilities in there than what you're seeing. And it's up to the Aikidoka to find them and understand them. You know, the system works, the technique works. It's up to the individual Aikidoka to find ways of making it work. The optimum way, in my opinion, is if he takes the wrist. Oh, look at that, no effort at all. And yet he's down. And that's all I need. I just need then to do that. I mean, in a self-defense situation, obviously there are other variables, but we need to understand that the basic technique